Hey everybody, Matt from Eastwood. We're here in the Eastwood garage doing another live tech session for you guys. If you haven't watched one of these before, I want you guys to log on and join the chat on Facebook and YouTube, and you can ask questions. We have Scott, as always, over on the computer.
Who's in the middle of editing? You caught me off guard. My mic is on. Caught me off guard, but yes, YouTube, Facebook, make sure you ask questions. We love to be able to get you guys answered live to make it interactive, so we can take care of you guys. So let's see what Matt has to say about the fender roller today.
So today we're doing a little just Q&A type session on the Eastwood Fender Roller. I'm going to show you guys our offering and give you a little bit of information about it, and hopefully that'll help you guys that might be thinking about getting one purchase one. So this is our Eastwood Fender Roller. We've been selling the Fender Roller since the beginning of fender rolling times. So this is not a new product to Eastwood. We've had it for a long time. It's been a staple product in our product line. But it's something that we don't talk about too often. Nice thing about the Eastwood Fender Roller, it's very, very adjustable. So it's going to give you bolt patterns up to 4.75. It has a multi-lug pattern here. You can do 4 and 5 lug wheels up to 4.75 bolt pattern. And this goes from 14 inches all the way up over 21 inches of extension here. So when this is bolted up to the wheel, to the hub rather, down here at the bottom, you can adjust this arm here to go, depending on your car and the height of your suspension. If you have a car that has really short springs and shocks on it, you can go down nice and low like this and still roll the fender. If you have something that's larger, you can of course tighten this. The other thing is that you can use this lever here to change the angle of the Delrin roller. So we can loosen that up and we can actually change this angle. This is probably the most important part, and mistake that I see beginners do is that they have the angle of the roller incorrect. So you want this to be kind of, what we're trying to do is push in on the lip and crush it into itself. You're just trying to basically fold it over, and we're not trying to actually push the fender out or push the metal out to make the visible flare or body line on the outside of the car. We're not trying to make that larger. We're trying to just take that little lip that's anywhere from an 1/8 inch on up. You're just trying to make that larger. So, I'm sorry, fold that in and make it smaller so that you get clearance for your wheels. So by adjusting this, you may need to adjust this once or twice depending on how far you're going. So if your wheel lip is almost all the way folded over, you may put it almost at a 90-degree angle like this because it's folding it completely tight. So get this like that so you guys can see. So you may have it like this, and as we're rolling back and forth like this, the lip's almost rolled over flat, so at this point we want it at almost 90 degrees. But when we start, we may have it more like a 45 or even less because we need it to be pushing up. If we had this at a 90 and we were trying to push in on that hard edge, it's going to put cuts in this Delrin wheel, and it starts to chew the wheel up over time, and that's when we see, people calling in asking for a new wheel. A lot of times it's because it's all cut up and damaged from using this angle incorrectly. The roller does have ball bearings in it, sealed bearings in it, which is nice so that any dirt or anything that won't get in there and damage them. It also makes the roller roll quite smoothly so that it'll kind of helps you when you're rolling the wheels, rolling your fenders. So the other thing to mention is there is additional bolt holes in here on the side that you can change out the hardware to get a better configuration as far as the throw of the tool and the angle. So you can use these holes. We get questions sometimes about why we have those extra holes in there. So we have a nice little clip for you guys of us just kind of like a 1, 2, 3 type deal. So you put your fender roller right on. Use the heat gun to heat up the area. I usually say around 100 degrees to 120 degrees is good. And then you roll the fender gently and you slowly turn that knob, as you can see there that they're doing, and that completes the rolling of the fender. You can see it's just the lip that's rolled inside there. So the heat gun is the one key thing that you saw in the beginning there. If you're trying to do this on a vehicle that isn't like a project car that is in bare metal or in primer, if you have nice shiny paint and you don't want to crack the paint, especially if you're doing this on a newer vehicle that has nice paint, you want to use the fender roller and the heat gun in conjunction with each other. So you want to take this heat gun, turn it on, and this is a digital heat gun, which is really nice here. So on the back side here, we can actually turn this on, set it to the temperature that we want, and keep an eye on it. So you can use this. You want to put this right on the edge where it's actually going to be folding over. So when you have the 90-degree angle of the lip, you want to really be focusing your heat in that area because that's the area that's going to be stretching. You want the paint to be flexible. Once you start going over 120 degrees, when you get up even above 150, you may run into the risk of start to bubbling your paint or discoloring it. So try and keep it lower like that if possible, so that you do not damage the paint or just bake the paint right off of the fender, which we don't want to do. We have our infrared thermometer here too. So this guy is great for if you want to check it. If you're using a heat gun that maybe doesn't have a setting on it to kind of set the temperature, you can use this. Or if you want to double check, we got this guy that we can shoot this. It's got a little laser. Maybe, no. If you see a cat run across here, you know that it's working. See that? So that's our infrared thermometer. That tells us our temperature on the back side here. Maybe Joe can get this fancy technology here. No. No. Well, you probably can't zoom in that far, can you? Can you? I mean, this is riveting stuff here. We got to get this. People that have not used one of these. You can't see it. Anyways, no, it's something with technology hasn't picked up to get that screen. Anyways, so we could shoot this at the fender and can tell us our temperature, make sure that we're not getting the paint too hot. Or if you're worried about the paint cooling down too much as you're rolling the fender, because it takes a few passes, you can go back and forth with the heat gun and the infrared thermometer, which is nice. So those two things, adding them with the fender roller is very important. Any questions we have?
Sure, we have one question. I also have a quick statement. You may have covered it while I was paying attention over here, but we have another adapter as well. So if you have a larger truck, that one does the bolt patterns from the 375 to the 4.75. And then we also have a larger one that'll do 5 to 6 inch bolt patterns. So certainly if you have a larger vehicle, we still have you covered. And then the other question was, for someone just tuning in, they asked what the wheel was made out of.
The wheel on the roller is a Delrin wheel. So it is like a plastic type material, but for any of you guys that are familiar, Delrin is a much more durable and harder plastic that's going to hold up to rolling the fenders. Now again, the big thing I see with these getting damaged is when the angle of the fender roller head is at the incorrect angle and the sharp edge of the lip of the fender is actually cutting into the wheel, and that will cut the wheel and start damaging the top of the wheel. You want this angle to be correct so that it's pushing on the tall side of the lip that you're trying to fold in, not on the sharp edge. And like Scott had mentioned about the adapter, we seem to get questions a lot. If you guys have the wide 5 pattern that you find on Porsches and earlier Volkswagens and even some early Fords have a similar pattern, the adapter is the one that you guys are going to want. It also works on a lot of the trucks that you may see that have like a 6-lug pattern. They'll fit as well. So those are good for that, but it seems like we get Porsches and the air-cooled Volkswagens, we get that question a lot for those. And you guys definitely need to order the adapter in addition so that you can use that on your vehicle without a problem. Any other questions that we have?
Nope, we're good.
Well, that's all I got today for the fender roller. If you guys want any more information or you'd like to see the full-length video of what we showed you the clip of, click on the link in the comments section and I'll take you to the product page. We have some videos, additional photos, and all the specs are right there in front of you if you want to review them. So that's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks. Catch you later.